farming tends to be quite a pressurised job, especially at busy times of the year, such as harvest.
Farming is just such a dangerous occupation, isn't it? All the machinery has got bigger, you're just trying to do things more quickly.
I'm afraid we all tend to rush a little bit too much, and that is when accidents tend to happen. We were combining, realised that I had a minute to spare. So I thought if I just tip the trailer up into the air, facing the sun, the floor will dry, the grain will be dry. So I tipped the trailer up. Unbeknown to me, the trailer had touched the power lines. And as I got out of the tractor, I had hold of this metal guide bar here. As I touched the ground, I got the full 11,000 volts from the power line straight through me. I was literally stuck to the spot. It was probably about 3 or 4 minutes after that that the front tyre on the tractor caught fire. If I hadn't managed to break free, if the power hadn't killed me, the fire would have got me.
I was just taking the children swimming. Ian phoned me up and said, I've had an accident, the ambulance is here, so come quickly. They knew that it was very serious because of the consequences of the shock that had passed through him. It had dislocated the shoulder and completely smashed the humerus, and they told me after it looked as though somebody had smashed it with a sledgehammer. Obviously Ian was in hospital for getting on for a week, and we obviously still had the farm to run. I had one child of 6 months and one of nearly 3, because we still had 200 cattle out, sort of harvest still needed to be finished, and we still had our free-range chickens. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. He was quite debilitated for quite a long time with his shoulder. He wasn't able to drive or do anything. I am now much more careful, and certainly with having 2 young children, it does make you much more cautious with regard to them as well. And generally, as you say, in day-to-day things, there are times when I think, you know, I'd rush in and do something, and I sort of stand back and think, well, hang on a minute, I'd be better if I approached it in a slightly different way. This is obviously your promise not that the Health and Safety Executive issued last year in the Come Home Safe campaign. And I think it is a really good thing that if it sticks in a farmer's pocket with his pocket knife and handkerchief, and I think if it makes one person think that they're not going to drive in a field that's too steep, or they're not going to handle cattle on their own, or even if it means they don't do a job in such a hurry,